Hello there. Hello. It's such an honor to be sitting across from you on my system and talking to you. Thank you so much for talking to us and taking out the time. As Pooja described you, we've seen a completely different side of you during this pandemic. You've reached out to millions of people in India. You've you've you targeted 25 million meals right at the beginning of the pandemic, and here you are months down and the mission is accomplished. So I will just want to ask you first, you are a Michelin star chef, you are an author, you are a filmmaker, and this during this pandemic में हमने आपका बिल्कुल ही दूसरा रूप देखा है जहाँ पे आप एक ह्यूमैनिटेरियन के तौर पे सामने आए हैं. So सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि ऐसा क्या है जो विकास खन्ना नहीं कर सकते हैं. तो मेरा सबसे पहले आपसे ये सवाल है.
मैं सूटकेस पैक नहीं कर सकता हूँ पहली बात. I can't do basic stuff. I can't hear like instructions from the air hostess. I don't, it just slips my mind. I have this kind of I just can't pack my bag. I have a very big problem because if there's also, I've been traveling like crazy. I still forget things. I forget my passports. I forget everything. The basic life is a total mess.
Wow.
But I'm okay with that now. I've accepted the fact that I was not cut out for that.
So for a Michelin star chef to have such a regular basic problem, that's very comforting to know, let me tell you. So आप इंडिया से इतनी दूर बैठे हुए हैं और अभी we know the time difference, it's more than 12 hours. How do you manage your time and how are you able to do this? And if you can tell our viewers a little bit more about Feed India, what you have been able to do. You have targeted sections of people who are the most sidelined. Let me give a few examples. You have looked after the widows in Vrindavan. You have looked after the boatmen in Varanasi. आपने बहुत ही targeted लोगों को help पहुंचाई है. So how do you manage your time? Sitting so far away from India, this long distance relationship, and how are you able to do such a huge, massive project sitting from there?
We started the whole operation on April 1st, or that time I decided, this has to be done because there will be shortages. India declared lockdown March end. So we knew it's a month end, and a lot of these places are dependent on monthly donations of dry rations or donations. And right now everyone is vulnerable. So मुझे लगा कि यहाँ पे problem हो सकती है. उसके बाद I just feel कि the time difference thing about day and night, it's actually really helped me because it got me time to plan the whole thing. Next day it got me time before India would wake up. So I'll always tweet before India wakes up. This is our agenda right now. These are the cities we are covering. These are the foundations we are collaborating with. And NDRF, National Disaster Response Force, was the biggest partners we had. So we were very clear. I think the time difference gave me, and also I put everything on the back burner. A lot of people did not know that, I had a restaurant which had to open and everything got delayed. But we still opened it yesterday. We still opened it and it is jam-packed right now. We are full. We are doing double seating right now. We just opened and I'm proud of it that people want to support this. And this is first time it's happened that I'm not there for opening of the restaurant. I don't open restaurants too much, because I am very, very emotional about opening a place because I feel it's an extension of me and my family and my city and my country. And I feel कि वो बहुत ध्यान से करना चाहिए आपको because everything gets judged through your work. So पहली बार I opened a restaurant on Zoom calls and on video calls and emails. Generally, I'm always stationed there 20 hours. But we also figured out the Feed India was a priority and I put everything else on the back burners. I have 4 books which had to be submitted. I delayed everything. I said, my mom said everything can wait, but the people who are hungry walking on the highways, they can't. So I just set up my moral compass through my mother. Wow, and I think I manage my time well because I am very focused and I don't get emotionally, derailed very fast. मेरे को जो करना होता है, I move very straightforward. That is the reason you could do so much. And we have 2 documentaries which we finished during the pandemic, and I have such a huge feature film coming out. And we were doing everything in a very organized way, but everything was put on the back burner since April 1st, because even people who were sending me letters from the lawyers, I hope they're hearing me now, that I was delayed in my projects and delayed in my submissions. And we have a very big, एक ना बहुत बड़ा cycle में चलता हूँ मैं. So everything is disciplined to a different level. इस time पे ये submission है, इस time. I had just finished MasterChef India, like March mid, and that is when you went, and because MasterChef India is quite time consuming. So I felt that when I go back to US, I should be able to finish all these projects. Everything was timed day by day. But you're right that Feed India gave me another dimension of life. मेरे को लगता है कि it is bigger than, even if I win 3 Michelin stars, I'll never be so satisfied the way this was.
That's so beautiful, Vikas. Just want to understand, आपने अपनी माँ की बात की. In one of the recent interviews, you actually said that how your idea of hunger does not come from India, but it comes from America, and it created quite a buzz. Trust me, all the Indian media channels were quite moved to hear that from you. So if you can give us a little bit of a glimpse, as in, मतलब आपका जो struggle रहा है, and you are a complete success story. So how did you kind of relate? How do you associate the idea of hunger to America and not to India?
India में there is a certain thing कि कोई ना कोई आपको खाना खिला देगा. And I also, of course, I say it very openly, the Western media wants to play that all the time, that they gave me the platform, and all the success stories and everything happened as something which was absolutely globalization of Indian food. And they did it. And I just keep telling them, you did not do it. And I have a very big problem when people take credit of anything, because I give credit to my mother and father, and no one else deserves that. And all my life, like after the success started happening step by step, I used to hear this word a lot: we made you.
Yeah.
I will have a lot of Western media come to me and say, we made you. And a lot of European Americans will say, we made you. And and a lot of people whom I worked with, they will always say, you made you. I said, you know what? Actually, you did not make me. I was only made by my parents. And I have stuck on to that. And it gives me gravity when I say that. And I mean it. And so wo jo interview mein I was trying to tell BBC tha ke
It was a BBC.
CNN, BBC. So BBC mein the guy asked me, you come from not a well-to-do family, and look at the American dream you're living, and you must have understood hunger from India. In India, there is something about people, the way they share food. And many times we happen, because we used to travel from Delhi all the way to Manipal, to Palghat, and then to Mangalore. And it was almost like a 32 hours train ride to go to college. अगर आपके पास खाना नहीं है ना, तब भी कोई ना कोई खिला देगा. You sit there and somebody will share it. And I have said, this is very basic ethos of India. And I did not understand hunger from India so much as I did from New York, because here nobody shares like that. People have charity work, which is done through organizations and foundations, but India does this on an individual scale. So I say that I was trying to explain to them later, when I got such a, of course, when you have something which goes viral, we also have setback of that. And I said, just have to remember that India runs on 1.3 billion foundations. If America has 40 different great foundations, India has 1.3. So on individual capacity, what we contribute is phenomenal. It's just, it's even if it's small contribution, it could be just sharing of, you're eating something and somebody says, "Acha, ye bhi taste kar lo." I just feel that doesn't happen in the Western world, because we are very law oriented here. And you don't want anyone to come after you saying that, "Adit, tune mujhe khilaya tha, I felt sick." Sue them. I think the answer came from that moment, and I somehow feel when people target my city, Amritsar, I get a little defensive, and I always have to say, you don't understand India you understand India from a very small spectrum of Slumdog Millionaire, and you've not been able to expand yourself to see that how much layers India lives in.
As a filmmaker, I would urge you to make more movies about India, so that people get a better picture of what the country is about. I just have one other question before I can probably let you go. You managed to open a restaurant, Elora, that you just mentioned, while you are sitting in New York and the restaurant is in Dubai. I mean, हमारा Zoom से चल जाता है काम. I mean, हम digital organizations में काम कर रहे हैं and हमारा चल जाता है. But I'm very fascinated by the fact that you have been able to kind of share recipes with people who will be working back in Dubai. And how did that coordination go? And also because food is so much about smell. So just if you can tell me a little, they taste it and kind of like give you a feedback.
So we were working on this project. Ashish is the head chef, and I've worked with Ashish for many years. And Ashish knows me in and out when I'm. And the thing is that I don't have a very outrageous demeanor. I get upset, but I don't have. I don't remember shouting. पता नहीं बहुत साल हो गए मुझे की होगी unconsciously, but because of my, I think a mother's genes, no, I am extremely, in any emergency also I'm calm. And people think, you know, what the hell is this? I'll lose my wallet and the cops are saying you must be joking because you're so calm. And I'm like, I don't know how to be unrestful exterior, like in outside, but being calm also helps you in executing this project. But I do say that, you know, it was very difficult for me and to have a restaurant because, you know, it's your labor of love. But when we started figuring out that, you know, we have to do it because there's a lot of, it creates jobs, it creates opportunities, it creates guest services, experiences. So when we said, and it also talks, it's so easy to sit on Zoom call and talk about positivity and let's be positive and let's get the industry back to its toes. I feel कि by example करना बहुत ही it is a little difficult to do that, to live by that example. I said, let's set an example that during this pandemic, we'll never forget it, that we actually opened a full-fledged, full operational restaurant with food which is totally different, and you know, you're very, very proud of it. Actually, yeah. It's just like somebody who's just given birth to some little baby and who sees that life is being introduced to the world.
That's amazing. Once another question that I had from you was that since we are talking about restaurants, and you just a couple of minutes ago told us how jam-packed the restaurant is, how do you think that it's going to change at all as to how people look at restaurants, how people go out after, like before, during the pandemic? Like, how is that going to change?
Everything is going to change about the hospitality industry. It's the most vulnerable industry right now. If you see what's happening in New York, there was an article in Eater yesterday. They do not even know how many restaurants have been shut down permanently because restaurants are not opening. So there's so many restaurants. They're just saying 1,000 restaurants closed in the duration of 8 weeks. Just last 8 weeks, 1,000 restaurants in Manhattan, like the capital of dining on the planet. And they don't even know how many restaurants are shut down who are not, like, we don't know about them right now. So it's a little, I think it's a little rebirth which is going to happen in hospitality. We will have to follow the norms what the government sets for us or the medical experts set for us. And even if you see that, you know, how we are distancing the counters in the kitchen and how we distance, I don't know if you've seen the images of Elora, that how this could easily seat 250 to 300 diners, but we have almost like 60 or almost 70 seats in the dining room. And I think that is also that, you know, the thing is that we might have to do more covers to survive, to sustain. But everything is going to change about hospitality. Even the food chains are shifting. It's a big thing happening. I was just speaking to a farmer in the morning from India, and they said, you know, we lost the cycle of crop because this pandemic happened and we couldn't do the harvest. And then after that, we couldn't do the processing. And then after that, we didn't sow during the rainy season because we don't have so much of labor around. So we are going to, there's a big shift happening in the global stage of crops, harvest. And that was my big PhD, which I'm doing on pollination. And this time, this is like, there's no sowing. But I think it's okay. As humans, we are extremely adaptable and we will be coming back stronger than before. Of course, there will be a big shift happening. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but I hope it happens.
Okay.
It's hard. It's very hurtful to see that the only industry but you know, it's for me is also, I invest in a lot of different industries. So for me, arts is the most important subject. Of course, food being top of the pyramids. But I feel that it's little difficult for seeing that there are no returns happening right now. It's difficult.
Okay, on that note, I'll have to let you go, Mr. Khanna. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your new restaurant and congratulations on all the amazing work you are doing. All our best wishes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shelly. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Shelly, and thanks, Vikasji, for joining us today. I think one of the personal takeaways that I had today was to learn how to stay calm and positive all through. And overall, I think
I'm telling you, I lost my passport out of my wallet, and the officers wouldn't believe me. Saying, "But you're so calm." I said, "What? I don't know how to shout."
Yeah, I think, that's one personal takeaway from me. So thanks a lot for joining us. Congratulations on your new restaurant, Alora, and all the very best for your journey.
Thank you for introducing us.